Guys, okay. In my review of part one of this two-part movie series of Attack on Titan, I said specifically that I don't understand why the Japanese were hating on this movie because I loved the first one. Like, it was different from what we're used to. It's not the same story. There's some characters missing. There's some characters added. Some characters are completely different than what we knew, but that was fine because it was just so serious. The Titan designs were epic. It was gruesome. It seemed more dangerous than the actual anime that we've known to, love. But this part two, let me go ahead and say that I can see why Japan hates this movie. Like, I can see why they hate this one, not necessarily part one, because I think part one was cool, but this one right here, part two, save your money, people. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, do not pay money to go see this. Watch this online, rent it whenever it comes out, whatever. But it wasn't all bad. I'm not going to lie. I'm not just going to bash this movie. I'm going to kind of keep it spoiler free, or as spoiler free as I can, because some things in the second half of the movie kind of hint at some upcoming things in the actual Attack on Titan manga. So I'm not going to go too into depth like I usually do in my movie reviews. But this movie, if you're looking for Attack on Titan, you might as well not watch it, because this movie is Attack on Fisticuffs. I mean, Eren gets his ass whooped by so many non-Titan threats throughout this entire movie, pretty much. And there is no Titan action. You may think that with a name, Attack on Titan, and it being based off of the anime, there will be Titans, right? No. No. Attack on Titan Part 2 has no Titans until the very, very end. I mean, there are some Titan cameos. That's what I can classify it as, because they're riding through the fields on this Jeep and they see some Titans way out yonder, like almost a mile away, just sitting there like cows out in the pasture or something. There's no danger from Titans at all until the very, very end. And this movie just drug out, man. There's one scene where the armored Titan comes and kidnaps Eren, and he punches a few people. They explode. It's gruesome. It's pretty cool. But that lasts for like literally 2 minutes, and then we get no more Titan action until the very end. But let me talk about the plot of it. You know what? No, I'm going to get into the good of this movie before I dive into the bad, because there was a lot of bad. The good in this movie, number one, without a doubt, is Hanji. Hanji is an amazing character already, and in this movie, whoever this female is that played her, I would marry that chick. She played Hanji to a T, man. Like, just how excited she was when she found out that Eren could turn into a Titan, and just, she was the comedic relief, man. Like, in the actual manga, that is usually left up to Sasha, but Hanji takes it in this movie. She is so hilarious. I actually got to the point where when Eren and the apple guy, I forget his name, the guy that eats the apples and shit, when they were on the screen, I was like, can I please get some more Hanji? At least make me laugh if you're going to make me sit through this movie like this. Like, it was a legit joy, and I literally smiled every time she said something. She just fangirled over everything. Literally everything. It was just amazing. And also, the fight at the end was epic. It was Eren versus the Armored Titan, and then Eren versus the Colossal Titan, and then the Armored Titan versus the Colossal Titan. I'm not going to go into spoilers, but just know that the identities of the Colossal and Armored Titans have been changed dramatically. Like, who they are in this movie is not who they are in the actual manga and in the upcoming season 2 of Attack on Titan. You will not expect this, and the transformations are kind of bullshit. Like, oh my god, like, is this guy really the Armored Titan? Is this guy really the Colossal Titan? Like, it's just such an ass pull. You can tell that this ending was rushed, but the actual fight at the end was epic. I love how when Eren, in human form, not Titan form, was climbing up the Colossal Titan's back, trying to reach its nape, and it was, how the Colossal Titan is just so hot and no one can get close to it. His boots were melting on the Colossal Titan's back, and his skin was like melting off. It was like really, really cool, and it's exactly what I thought would happen if someone actually got on the back of the Colossal Titan. So that was really cool. The fight between Titan Eren and the Armor Titan was dope as hell. That finale, I'm not going to go into spoilers of who won and what happened, but it was dope. Just know that what we did get of Titan action was epic, but all that was less than 20 minutes. Like, it really wasn't worth it in my opinion. I would have rather just look these fights up on YouTube than just pay the money that I did to go see this. But let's talk about the plot. Now we're about to get into some crazy shit. Now here's the part where I say that this may be spoilers for some upcoming content in the manga, because I can actually see the story going this way, although nothing has been confirmed in the actual Attack on Titan lore or canon. But this Attack on Titan world is set after our present day. Like, the military created this serum to turn people into Titans, and they were going to use them as weapons or whatever. And basically it got out of control, and there were too many people turning into Titans, and then the remaining humans that were Titan infested free made the walls, and that's the walls we're familiar with. So there were, you know, it was like there were like flat screen TVs, machine guns, and a whole bunch of things in the outside world that didn't make it inside the walls. So, but I can understand that, but it's just kind of weird seeing Eren and a jukebox. Like, there's this scene where he wakes up after being kidnapped by the Armor Titan, where he wakes up to some country music playing from a jukebox. Just seeing Eren and a jukebox in a scene together, it's like, what? And then there's constant, like, this day and age weaponry. Like, there's machine guns, RPGs, tanks and shit that the government has hoarded from the outside world to kind of combat the Titans, or some plot twist that I'm not going to actually go into, because that is a thing in the actual manga with how twisted the government is. I'm not going to get into that. But Hanji fangirling over the weapons from outside the wall was amazing. Like, she actually gets to shoot a RPG and she fangirls. Like, it looks like she literally had an orgasm while shooting the RPG. It was so fucking funny. Like, Hanji really made this movie for me. But that's pretty much the story of Attack on Titan, the movie. That Titans are humans. Every single Titan that is in Attack on Titan is a human, at least according to this movie anyway. So I think that's a very interesting dynamic, that Attack on Titan literally takes place a few hundred years after our current timeline. That's a pretty epic twist. You wouldn't really think that, considering that they're still, you know, have the horse and buggy and, you know, cannons and all the, I'm not going to say primitive stuff, but the stuff that we had before we evolved technology. So just the fact that they do have that technology, but just outside the walls, was pretty interesting. But just the execution of the Apple guy and Eren's development, and how he wants to get rid of the walls, and it's just crazy, man. But there is one fantastic quote from Eren that I really do love. Like, I was kind of skeptical on it at first, but I really did learn to love it. It's how Eren wants to be outside the walls so bad. That has not changed from the anime. He says that he would rather be free in hell than be a slave in heaven, meaning that he would rather journey out there beyond the walls and risk hell, aka the Titans, than to be stuck in heaven, which is the safety of inside the walls, you know, forever until he dies. I think that's a really cool way to explain that, and I think that was really well done. Like, some of the writing was pretty good, but I mean, most of this movie, like, literally, let's say this movie was an hour and a half, right? I don't know the exact runtime, but 1 hour and 15 minutes was literally talking and plot, and we didn't get any Titan action. It was just, oh my god. But there are some deaths. Most deaths in this movie come from machine gun fire and explosions rather than Titans. When you know, I can honestly see why the Japanese hated this movie, because of that right there. We want to see Titan action, not human on human machine gun and RPG fire. I'm like, wow, is this really Attack on Titan? But there were some good parts, I'm not going to lie. Like when that Armored Titan came in and just punched people and they pretty much exploded. There is a very surprising death coming from the hands of the Colossal Titan at the end. And what parts were good, they were good. Like, it was great, it's stupendous. But like most of it, it just was too much of an effort to get there. Like, if I didn't pay money and didn't sit down and got my popcorn and my drinks and all that, I would have said, fuck this. I would have walked out and said, you know what, I'll just watch this online. And a lot of people did walk out, like, especially after they found out the identity of the Colossal Titan. Like, at least 2 or 3 people walked out the theater. They were like, okay, fuck this shit. It was like, wow. Like, I'm mixed on this movie. There are some good parts, but there's way more bad. Like with the ending with Eren and Mikasa, there's just like too many what the fucking miracle moments. I'm like, man, like the direness from the first half of this live action movie is completely gone until like the very end. And it just really sucks. But if you guys have seen the movie, tell me what you guys think. I would not recommend going to the movies to pay money to see this, unless you just really want to see it and have some extra money and you're balling like that to just throw money away, because that's what it felt like I did. It felt like I threw money away. Like I said, I'm not completely bashing the movie, but if you see this, you'll kind of want to be like, why is Eren listening to country music from a jukebox? Why is Hanji shooting an RPG, even though that part was epic and hilarious? Why do the Survey Corps have like machine guns? Why did this guy just get shot? Like really? It's just fucking crazy. And Mikasa acts like a bitch the entire movie. If you're familiar with the first part, you would know that her relationship with Eren has been rocky ever since she was discovered again, and that does not change until the very end. Like, she's just so quiet and like dismissive of Eren. Like, even when, okay, you know the scene, I think in the first few episodes when Eren finds, or like when they find out that Eren can turn into a Titan, when he's tied up, and how Mikasa was protecting him in the anime, like, you're gonna have to go through me to get to my hubby back there. That scene in this, she just literally stood there. He was about to die numerous times. Armin was the one that stepped in. Like, she was really going to let him die. She just like looked down. I don't know why she's such a bitch in this. And she knew who the Armored Titan was, and she didn't say anything, and she's the reason for a whole bunch of shit in the long run. And this is not the Mikasa that we know and love. Just go ahead and get that out your mind before you watch this movie. But if you have watched this movie, tell me what you guys think. I mean, it's a fun watch. It's something Attack on Titan related. You get to see Eren whooping on the Armored Titan. We get to see the Colossal Titan in some beautiful CG. Like, that scene where Eren was on his back was epic, man. It was amazing. I love that shit. That was like one of the only good things about this movie. But just know that I don't think it's worth the full admission price of going to a movie to see it. And this is sad to say, because I was looking forward to it, because it was another anime related movie that I could see in theaters. But tell me what you guys thought. If you've seen it, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me down below your thoughts on this review, on the actual movie, if you have seen it. I'd appreciate it if you guys enjoyed this review. Leave a like. I appreciate everything you do. This has been jbDAuchiha. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.